Isa alayhi salam, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, and this hadith is in Bukhari Sharif, "Ana awla an-nasi bi ibn Maryam, wal anbiya'u awladu allat, laysa bayni wa baynahu nabiyyun." The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that I am the closest from the people to Ibn Maryam, i.e. to the son of Maryam, to Isa alayhi salam. And the prophets are stepbrothers, awladu allat. Laysa bayni wa baynahu nabiyyun. There is not between me and Isa alayhi salam any prophet. The next narration, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, "Ana awla an-nasi bi Isa ibn Maryam fi dunya wal akhirah." I am the closest from the people to Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam in the earth and in the hereafter. And wal anbiya'u ikhwatul li allat, and the prophets alayhi salatu wassalam, they are stepbrothers. Ummahatuhum shatta wa deenuhum wahid. Their mothers are different and their religion is one. So we'll start by the saying where the Prophet ﷺ said that the prophets ﷺ are stepbrothers. And then he further explained this. He said their mothers are different and their religion is one, meaning just like how when you have one, your mothers are different, but the fathers are one. So similarly here, their mothers are different, meaning their shariat, but their fathers are one, meaning their call. Every prophet called to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They all call to the worship of one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why in different places in the Holy Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the stories of the Prophet, كذبت قوم نوح المرسلين كذبت عاد المرسلين كذبت ثمود المرسلين كذبت قوم لوط المرسلين. He mentioned the different nations and he said that the people of Nuh alayhi salam denied the prophets. He says the people of Thamud denied all the prophets. The people of Lut alayhi salam denied all the prophets. Now, when we study the history, there was only one prophet sent to them. Of Nuh alayhi salam, only Nuh alayhi salam was sent to them. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the people of Nuh denied all the prophets. It's a plural, prophets. So even though there was only one prophet sent to them. So the Mufassirin write the reason for this is because when they denied their own prophet, Nuh alayhi salam, they denied his call, his invitation. It is as if they have denied the invitation of all the prophets because all the prophets call to Tawheed, call to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So وَدِينُهُمْ wahid, their religion is one, meaning their call to one Allah is one, but their mothers are different, meaning their sharia, the set of rulings they had. In each religion, you will see different rulings. So for example, in our shariat, one thing is not allowed, but in the previous religions, it may have been allowed. And in the previous religions, a certain thing may not have been allowed, but it may be allowed in our shariat right now. And then the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in these hadiths that I am the closest of the people to Isa alayhi salam. Closest in terms of time. As the Prophet ﷺ himself mentioned, لَيْسَ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَهُ نَبِيٌّ, there was no prophet between, or there is no prophet between me and him. And in fact, in the Quran Kareem, it is mentioned, Surah As-Saf, which we will read today, 28th para, where Isa alayhi salam, what did he tell his people? He said, وَمُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ يَأْتِي مِن بَعْدِ اسْمُهُ أَحْمَدٍ, that I am here to give you glad tidings of a messenger that will come after me, and his name will be Ahmed. So Isa alayhi salam is that prophet who actually gave glad tidings to his nation of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said that after me there will come a prophet and his name will be Ahmed. And furthermore, apart from this, Isa alayhi salam is also the closest to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the sense that he will return to the earth and he will be part of the nation of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. All the prophets supplicated to be from this nation, but Isa alayhi salam is that fortunate individual whose dua was accepted. And why was accepted? Why him? I have previously mentioned this as well. Why him? But there's another reason I am going to mention today as well. And that comes under the saying where Prophet ﷺ said, I'm closest to him in the earth and the hereafter. Wal akhirah. How is he the closest to Isa alayhi salam in the hereafter? This is because there is the hadith. And Allama Ibn Kathir rahmatullahi alayhi has mentioned narration in his book of tafsir in Surah Tahrim under the ayat Asa Rabbuhu in tallaqakunna an yubdilahu azwajan khayran minkunna muslimatin mu'minatin qanitatin ta'ibatin abidatin sa'ihatin thayyibatin wa abkara. That he mentions this narration that when Hazrat Khadija radiallahu anha was passing away, the Prophet ﷺ said to her that when you meet your co-wives, when you meet your co-wives, convey my salam to them, give my salam to them. So when Hazrat Khadija radiallahu anha, she heard this, she was a bit shocked, asked the Prophet ﷺ, did you marry somebody before me? And you have to remember that at this time, when the Prophet ﷺ was married to Hazrat Khadija radiallahu anha, he had no other wives. Hazrat Aisha, Hazrat Habiba, Hazrat Salama radiallahu anhunna ajma'een, etc. The other wives of the Prophet ﷺ, he got married to them after the departure of Hazrat Khadija radiallahu anha. Whilst Hazrat Khadija was alive, the Prophet ﷺ was only married to her. So when Hazrat Khadija heard this, that give salam to your co-wives, she was shocked because Hazrat Khadija was the first wife of the Prophet ﷺ. So she said, did you marry somebody before me? So the Prophet ﷺ replied, no, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has married me. I.e., he will marry me in Jannah to number one, Maryam bint Imran, i.e., the mother of Isa alayhi salam. And number two, to Asiya, the wife of Fir'aun. Her story is also mentioned in the Holy Quran. And number three, Kulthum, the sister of Musa. So Allah will marry me to Maryam bint Imran, Asiya, the wife of Fir'aun, and number three, Kulthum, the sister of Musa alayhi salam. So what we learn from this is in Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will marry the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam to Maryam alayhi salam, and automatically therefore there will be a link and a relationship between Isa alayhi salam and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and that is that if Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam is married to Maryam alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam becomes his stepson. So this is why Prophet ﷺ says that I am the closest of the people to Isa alayhi salam on the earth and in the hereafter. And like I just mentioned, that I have previously mentioned the reasons as to why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Isa alayhi salam to return to oppose Dajjal, but not another prophet. Why he chose Isa alayhi salam to be from this nation when it was the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was the dua of Musa alayhi salam, and many prophets had supplicated to Allah when they heard the attributes of this nation. They wanted to be a part of this nation, but their dua was not accepted. And Isa alayhi salam is that fortunate individual whose dua was accepted. So I have previously mentioned the reason for this. For example, number one, the beliefs of the Jews that they have killed him. So to get rid of this thought, what the belief of the Christians is that they put him on the cross. So all of these doubts will be removed, all of these false information will be removed when Isa alayhi salam returns. So, but from this narration, we can actually add another reason as to why it was Isa alayhi salam. And that is Dajjal is the worst of the worst. There is no trial greater than his trial on the surface of this earth. Therefore, to defeat him, to overpower him, you need the best of the best. You need the purest of the pure. And who is that? That is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he has already departed this world. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. He is not going to return. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send his second in command, you can say, the next best thing, and that is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's stepson. You will see that it is the tradition, the riwaj of this world, that when the father is unable to do something, then that responsibility is automatically handed down to his son. So for example, my father gives bayan in this masjid on Fridays and then in Blackburn on Saturdays. So if he is out of town, he's on a journey, he's unwell, etc., then it automatically becomes my responsibility to do the bayan. Or, for example, if there is a family business run by the father, then upon his death, the eldest son or one of the sons will continue this business. Meaning, it is the tradition of this world. When the father is unable to do something, that responsibility is given to the son. So, similarly, when the Prophet ﷺ cannot do it, then his stepson, Isa alayhi salam, will be chosen, will be sent. This is why, one of the reasons why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Isa alayhi salam to return to be a part of this nation.